Canadiens the way that the Canucks goes now?
No, honestly, they got a lot of good players, and they all got the right mentality, and it's showing this year.
What do you remember from your time here?
I loved it. Obviously made a lot of great friendships here for the, I think, 4.5 years I was here. Close-knit group. It was made some fun.
Seems that there's a reunion of legends of the 90s and 2020 area in the National Hockey League here with Gunshire, with Tocchet, with Foot, and you have pretty the same things in Montreal. How is it to be coaches by that kind of generation of ex-former player?
Yeah, it's kind of, at that stage where, players that we watched growing up are becoming coaches and GMs and whatnot. I think with Montreal, I think I played against 3 of the coaches that are behind the bench. So that shows how old. But no, it's that thing now. Everyone wants to try to stay in hockey when they're done, and all the guys, both coaches sat behind the bench are that.
Tanner, what do you bring to this Habs team? Like you said, you've played with some of the guys that are coaching you now. You've got that kind of veteran experience. Talk about how you're helping to kind of grow these younger players.
Yeah, I think you nailed that head. I think veteran experience is what I can, lean back on. So everything that, especially with the young guys that they were going through, I've probably been through in my career, and so just little things with going through a tough time or whatnot, just talk them through them. You're gonna get out of a slump eventually, and just keep on having a positive attitude. It goes a long way.
Is there anything you tell them specifically about playing at this time of the year when it looks like you're kind of out of a position, how you keep them motivated?
No, I think you're playing good teams every night, or at least we are on the way in here, right? So I think 90% of our games or whatever it is are against playoff teams. So it's, you don't want to get shellacked every night, so you still got to bring your A game because they're bringing theirs.
Trevor, at the last game, said that he had been talking to you about maybe sitting you at times, and it's not something you found out Tuesday morning. So can you just take us through how those conversations go? Because I'm sure they must be a bit uneasy at first, and what's it like?
Yeah, no, I had a conversation with Marty. Pretty self-explanatory. I think, it happens in this league. It's not, you look at what's going around right now, right? So it's, something happens. You obviously want to play every night, but it's not the way it goes sometimes.
It felt like at this time last year, there was some uncertainty about whether you would even be continuing your hockey career. How did you battle through that uncertainty and get to this point where you're still a contributing player?
Honestly, just took it day by day. Don't really like talking about the hand too much, but I guess in this place it's going to probably come up. So, no, just took it day by day, and hopefully the next day was better than the last.
Next time.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Tanner.
Yep.
changes tonight, Trevor?
Well, yeah, Joshua Waz is out,
Yeah.
injured, and so Pearson comes in for him. Outside of that's it, yeah.
Okay.
Will we have to wait to see who plays with who on your second line?
No, we're going to, like, HP will just slot in there. Harvey Pinard will play with those guys, and then that'll keep our lineup the same as last game, and we thought we were pretty good, so it doesn't disrupt all the lines, so it'll be an easy switch. HP is a player that a little bit of a Swiss Army knife, and we feel he'll be just fine there, so.
You said Monty would be in there.
Yeah, Monty will be in that, yeah.
Phil, playing with Armia and Yo can help HP to find his offensive touch.
I hope so, yeah. I mean, it's been a challenging year for HP with the injuries, I think, and I think he's very valued within our dressing room. I don't know. I know his offensive numbers aren't good this year, but his details are always on, and he's just makes a positive impact on the game every night, and the numbers aren't there for him, but he's going to be just fine there, and I expect him to be dangerous offensively in that role as well.
When you look at this Canucks team, what's the biggest challenge that they represent to your group?
They play a pretty simple. I mean, they're obviously a good, highly offensive team, but they play a pretty simple game. They play a pretty heavy style of game, and they play a deep game. So they're going to pressure our young D, and I think that's probably the biggest challenge. As a unit of 5, we're going to have to race back to pucks, and breaking the puck out cleanly against this team is difficult, but I feel it's going to be a big part of the game tonight. But they're a little different than Edmonton, where Edmonton is going to beat you with possession off the rush and all over the place. But Vancouver is a little bit simpler than that, but at the same time dangerous and highly skilled at the top of their lineup. So,
looking back at the team you were on here in 2003, are there any comparisons to this Canucks team from what you've seen?
Oh, jeez.
That's
tough. I don't know if I want to start comparing. I mean, that throughout my career, like those 2 years that I spent here, it was exciting times. We had good teams that probably good enough to win. We just didn't. But that was an exciting time. Especially with Mo and with Nazi and with Bert, kind of running. So.
On that subject a bit, it was on the ice this morning, the twins, Adam Foote, Rick Tocchet, Gunchar on your side when Marty's there, Alex, yourself.
Yeah.
Is there more opportunities for former player to stay close from the ice in the business now? Is there a new trend? What do you think?
Well, you look at these two staffs, you would say yes, that's for sure. I think, it's coaching's not for all players, that's for sure. But I like the guys that you just mentioned. I know most of them. I played with Talk, I played with Footer, and it doesn't surprise me that those guys stayed in the game. They're very passionate hockey people, and it doesn't surprise me that they're having success in coaching. And I would say the same thing about our guys. So. I play with a lot of players that I wouldn't say that about. They just, they're. But so, but there's, it's just a mentality. There's some guys that they play and then they're out and they don't really want to see it again. And then there's other guys that are lifers, and there's a lot of guys in between. And it's just there is a little bit of a randomness. I'm not so sure about which way it's trending, to be honest. But
you talked about playing with Tocchet. What is it about him as a player and as a person that's made him an effective coach?
He just has a presence about him, and I think his daily habits as a player. And when I played with him, I was a pretty young player, and he was on the tail end of his career. And so he was a player that I kind of watched growing up. And he's one of those guys that when you get into the NHL, you get a chance to play with someone like that. It's pretty exciting, and you learn from someone like that because there's no ego there, and it's just kind of all business. And he goes about his job. Very respected player when he played, and now he's doing it again as a coach. So he's a real cool guy to be around as well. I'm a lot of respect for him.
How would you measure the level of belief after there was a lot of frustration after last game, and making sure that you keep going with the exact same game plan? Not exactly. It's a different opponent, but the belief still has to stay very high.
Yeah, like the frustration, it just stung a little bit at the end because I think our guys felt like they were going to win that game last game. So there's the positives far outweigh the 1 point instead of two. The way that we played for basically 60 minutes against a team that's winning just almost every game they play, we're going to hopefully build off that. The challenge is to do it again. That's hard to do it again like that because we felt we were very good. I said the other night, especially on the defensive side of the puck, the way that we defended it with 5 guys, it was one of the best efforts we've had. So we got to try to do that again. It's not easy, but that's our job as coaches is to prepare our guys and get them in that state of mind that they got to bring that. And then if we do, we should be able to push a little bit here tonight. So.
You've made reference to defensive effort. Was it more just kind of guarding the house and keeping them out of that sort of high danger area that you focus on more? Like, because they seem to have a lot of possession, right? But we seem to be comfortable with that. Like, is that a fair assessment of how you look at defensive play?
Well, with our coverage, yes, against those top-end players, and I think, say, a player like Quinn Hughes tonight would be similar. He gets the puck in the offensive zone. You have to be careful how aggressive you're going to be on him. He'll make you miss. He'll juke you. They have other players like that as well, and Edmonton does too, so in the defensive zone. But when we talk about defensive actions and plays, that's not just D zone. And I felt like in the neutral zone and in the offensive zone, when we didn't have the puck, we were very good at getting the puck back, just with stick details and checking as far as getting in people's hands to get pucks back as a unit of 5. You can't just do it with one guy because you have to work early to get those pucks back. So I'm not just talking about just in the D zone. It's more of a 200-foot type of style that, and we don't have it. And I felt like we got a real commitment from all our players, the forwards and the D. So
going back to the game winner on Tuesday, it was 3 righties on the ice defending. I was just wondering if this is something on the PK that you try to avoid on the, I mean, I know there are changes on the fly, but is that something you try to avoid, and how much stuff is it to defend in those situations?
Well, yeah, it's a 4-on-3 for 4 minutes, and it's tough. I mean, Savvy and Covey are going to be used in those situations, and Matheson and Guhle had played a ton, so that's just kind of the way it went. I don't think it really affected what happened on the goal. So,
Can you talk about
Last one,
making sure you do it
Lot-
again? You go back to the Florida game, but you have done it again, despite being frustrated by the results. What do you think has led to your ability to keep repeating it, even though they're not getting the payoff at the end? But you go back 9 games, that's some really tough opponents, and you've lost in overtime and shootout to a bunch of them, and you keep doing it.
Yeah, I think it just goes back to our group and our leadership, and there's a true belief that we can win these games and compete. And when it gets into overtime 3-on-3 or a shootout, it's a little bit of a flip a coin, and it's so
Losing the point flip.
No, exactly. But it's for 60 minutes and everything that we can do with our game 5-on-5 to prepare, and we're right there, and hopefully one of these are going to go the other way. But like say with shootouts and things like that, it's very hard to predict or practice it or scheme for it. And even in overtime, you could say a little bit of that as well. So is there frustration? There's a little bit of a sting after the game, but there's a lot of positive momentum from getting points against those teams, even though we don't get the win in the standings. It's just, I think, adding to the belief that we can do it again here tonight. So.
Thank you.
You play a lot of good games recently against big teams without winning, but how much for you is it important to finally win this kind of game against big team before ending the season?
Yeah, I mean, each game's important for us. We're kind of in our playoff push right now. Like, we're trying to get experience. I mean, we're playing all these good teams, so might as well challenge ourselves and see what we can do, you know? There's no point in packing it in right now.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
Lost my thought.
I thought it was over. Can you speak a little bit about the challenge of facing this team and these forwards that Trevor was saying that will apply a ton of pressure, simplest game, but still quite a challenge?
Yeah, we took a look at them. They're a great team. I mean, they play a deep game. I don't think they're as much with the cute plays like Edmonton was, but they still got guys who can get it done. So I think we just got to bring that same attitude and the same game we brought last time.
As a defenseman, how impressive is it to see the way Quinn Hughes moves on the ice and is able to produce at such a high level?
Yeah, I mean, he's a special player. There's not many of guys like him. He can skate like no other kind of, and you got to keep an eye on him. He's going to be moving all around the zone. He doesn't stay at the blue line, so yeah.
Thanks, Arber.
Thank you. Merci.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Bruce today.
Yeah.
What have you seen in prepping for this game?
I think not changed much. I think we did a lot of good things in Edmonton, and again, playing another top team in the league, so not changed much in our game. I think we just come out with the same intensity, same work ethic and attention to detail, and I think we'll be good to go. So.
Last time here, you had a pretty wild game last year. Is that something guys recall when, as you get in the building?
Yeah, I mean a little bit. We don't think that it's going to be a repeat or anything. Like you don't really think like that. But yeah, you remember that game, and it was definitely a wild one of the crazier ones I've been in my career. So yeah, let's try and stay away from that tonight for sure. Yeah.
Going for a low scoring.
Yeah.
How much in this locker room are you confident about seeing Arber Xhekaj finding his touch offensively, especially on the second line tonight?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's had a weird year. I mean, injury or gets hurt and then comes back and gets hurt basically right away again, and kind of know what that feels like, and it's kind of tough getting back into it, and he'll find it, and even he's such a big piece of our lineup, even if he's not putting up numbers offensively. I think just defensively and just how he plays hard. He's a small guy, but he plays hard, and he doesn't play to his size. He plays like he's bigger, and yeah, I think he'll find it. And even if he doesn't for a little bit here, he still has a big piece in our lineup. So.
And offensively, you think he has the tools to succeed?
Yeah, no, absolutely, he does. I think he absolutely does. I mean, you saw it last year when he was putting up really good numbers, got a hat trick. Like he's got all the tools again. His details are what kind of sticks out from anyone else, and that's what gets him in scoring areas and gets him in the right spot. So he definitely has the tools, and he'll find it. It's just still probably taking time to get back into things, and but he'll find it for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Kaiden, 2 years ago, the Canucks were pretty in the same place that you guys are. It's one of the biggest quick tournament in the National Hockey League, the Canucks. Have you seen this year some sign that this team here in Montreal could find his way, I mean, quickly as the Canucks did?
Yeah, no, I think definitely. I mean, if you just watch like our last 10 games, like we look good, and we're doing so many good things, and again, it's just it seems like there's just one little thing in each game that kind of hurts us, and not even shoot ourselves in the foot. That just kind of doesn't go our way, and but I think definitely we have that ability to turn around next year and be like them, and yeah, I have all the confidence in the world in this group and in this team, and the staff we have. It's only a matter of time, I think, before we do something like that too. So.